This is the SOUNDCORE C30i. It's not just one of those newfangled clip-on open-ear earbuds that's all the rage right now, but it's also one of SOUNDCORE's safest earbuds in recent memory. And I don't mean it in the way you think I mean it, so before I explain that a little bit more, let's take a closer look at the specs. The SOUNDCORE C30i retails for $70 and it comes in two colorways, this white one as well as a transparent black one, something that you can see in a lot of nothing products, but it's cool to see in SOUNDCORE's. Bluetooth 5.3 on board with AAC and SBC support, no fancy LDAC or anything like that, not that it needs it. The driver size is 12 by 17 millimeters, which means it's a rectangle. IPX4 water dust resistance. The weight is really light, guys. So physically, it is really light on the ears, but I'll talk more about comfort later on in the show. Battery life, I got around 9.7 hours, which is very close to the rated 10 hours from the factory, listening at 65% volume with AAC codec. This thing has mono mode and multi-point, which are both nice to see at this price point. And by the way, guys, I'm giving away one of these. Actually, I'm giving away the black version. So check out the deets down below to see how you can win one for yourselves. All right. The case for the C30i is really well done. It's well put together, nice materials, a little bit on the thicker side, so it will show up more so than other cases in your pocket. But otherwise, it's really well made. USB-C on the back, no wireless charging in case you're wondering, and there's the pairing button at the bottom there if you have to force pair. The LED status light is at the front, and this thing locks in place pretty well as well. Let's do the shake test. Half of the time the earbuds fall out, but most the other times it stays put. Like right now, they're just behaving. So I would say thumbs up to the case, thumbs up to the magnets. The cavities are easy to clean as well, so the charging contact point is right there. And I really like also the left-right indicator, so well done to SOUNDCORE. Gray for left, blue for right, and it color matches on the earbuds too. So as you probably are aware, this thing clips around your ears and pipes sound into your ear canal through the front portion right here. Here's the sound port, and the rear is actually where the touch controls are, double, triple, as well as hold commands, as well as the battery cell. The charging contacts are right there. There are two mics, one right here and one in the shadow of the rear compartment as well. In terms of build, this is where it kind of trips me up. I'll talk more about this later on as well. Compared to the case, the earbuds are a lot more inferior. So check this out. If I press on this and squeeze it a little bit, you can see the plastics on that split apart quite a bit. There's a large gap, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure why they couldn't have made this like more silicone-y or something. This is very unbecoming of SOUNDCORE. If you want to hear another example, I'll put this up to the mic. That's my fingernail catching the seams right here. All around is the same. It's kind of shocking to me that they did this, but this is their first gen of this kind of product. But I'm surprised they made this decision and let the engineers and designers let this pass. But it is what it is. In the case also comes a couple or a few gel paddings that you can insert into the rear compartment here to give you a better fit. And also in the box comes a short charging cable. If I remember correctly, the whole clip-on earring fad started with Huawei's $230 free clip, followed closely by the Ultra Open by Bose that, in my opinion, gave us the most convincing version of this kind of earbud yet, even though it's rather pricey at $300. So this idea, I would say, branched off of air conduction earbuds that have been hot stuff for the past couple of years. But with the emergence of fashionable wearables like smart rings and eyewear, companies started asking, why not turn these earbuds into earrings, or hearings as I like to call them. Now, before we jump into my pros and cons list, what I mentioned earlier about the C30 being the safest earbud in recent memory, well, it ain't because it's an open ear, so it's safer and all that, or that it's a safe buy necessarily, but rather it's as if SOUNDCORE played it safe. The impression that I get from the C30i during my time with it is there's a lot of pulled punches here, and you see that peppered throughout my review. Starting with the pros, there is no doubt that these buds are conversation starters, as you can see. It's invisible most of the time that not many people will notice them until they've stared at your face long enough. And even then, come on, guys with earrings and BD, right? Guys with Dyson zones, not so much. They look like idiots. Nonetheless, if you're an introvert, don't wear the C30 in public because someone will, not might, will eventually stop you and ask. And that's it for the positives. If I were to stretch it out a little bit more, I'd say the build quality is good. The case more so than the earpieces. Like, check out the flex on the plastics at the bend. And my fingers like catch the assembly seams really easily. All of which is really highly unusual for a SOUNDCORE even at this price. And the black version has a transparent design as we saw earlier, which is cool, but why not the white version is anybody's guess. It's worth repeating, especially for those who are new to this channel and especially new to this kind of product. What I've said before is that open air earbuds like the C30, they suck at bass. And not only that, everything else in the frequency spectrum is bombarded with sounds or noises of whatever environment the earbud is in. Such is the price of being able to hear what's going on around you at all times. Now, in the C30's case, mid-range is solid, vocals especially are well done, sounding like crisp and clear, while highs hold their own but quickly fall apart as volume increases or during high-pitched tracks like Mariah Carey's Emotion and the rapid-fire aria in Mozart's Magic Flute. I can totally sing like that in my sleep. But anyways, it seems like in this case, SOUNDCORE tapped into its sound processing expertise learned from, say, something like the Aerofits to fight physics and trick your brain into thinking that audio is full, bass has weight, and I have to hand it to their engineers. Out of the box, the C30 sounds good to most newcomers and also those familiar with the Aerofits. But for those familiar with the brand, you probably know that SOUNDCORE usually features tons of EQ presets for their products. This one is different. The C30 only has SOUNDCORE's signature bass and maybe 3D surround count as one. Again, did SOUNDCORE play it safe here, or are they just, cleaning house or something? Still, SQ belongs in the neutral territory thanks to one thing, the clip-on design. And I frequently say how hook type and around-the-neck buds like shocks with their one-size-fits-all shape lack the adjustability to properly aim sound into different users' ears. On the C30, you can slide it up and down your earlobe until you find the best fit. Yeah, I need to get back in shape, guys. It's springtime is the perfect time to do it. But right now, as it is, oh man, this is like the fourth earbud I have to do this test. And don't forget, I do multiple takes. I do a lot of running and such. So I'm kind of winded. But anyways, I have Chris Jones doing No Sanctuary here on the C30s. And we're here to test the Bluetooth range on these Bluetooth 5.3 equipped earbuds. There's the phone at the end of my deck. Thank you guys for joining me, by the way. Whew, exhausted. Where I'm standing is around 25 feet away from the phone. It's still going strong. What a beautiful day it is, though. It's all green. There's a nice breeze. It's about 68 degrees. Really nice. How you guys doing? Wait a second. The signal is still going strong. It's past the window. Usually that's the cutoff point for most. Oh, I just spoke too soon. Right around here, it's around 48, 49 feet. So not bad at all. But this is the key thing right here. If you're getting this, you're like, can I work out with it? Oh, absolutely. These are super comfortable. Although, and I'm gonna talk about this later on too, is there's just a lack of bass that most exercise people, earbuds and folks who use them want bass. But these don't. So for what it is, but the fit on this is super comfortable. No jostling around. I am starting to feel a little bit of pressure on this earlobe. So something to bear in mind. Make sure you test these doing vigorous activities before you settle on them. So all right, so let's do I'm out of breath. Let's take this to the main road and get the mics tested on these. I've been blessed that I've been able to test these for quite some time now, especially outdoors. Testing, 1, 2, 3. And so here are my impressions. Wind noise reduction, there's wind coming from this direction now directly into the mics, and I hope it shows up in the recording. But wind noise reduction doesn't exist. It's easily overcome. In a quiet situation, if you're working from home, the mics are great. But as sound passes through right now, you can hear that the algorithm just gets tripped up really easy, and it's probably one of the
least favorable, let's put it that way, least favorable quality.
Noise suppression quality I've experienced in a SOUNDCORE recently, so take that for what it is. But again, when it's quiet, this is something SOUNDCORE has been doing right for quite some time now.
But for some reason, the tuning on this, when noise suppression doesn't kick in, it's not the best at all. I'm not sure if it's the location of the earbuds, where they
sit, and how noise is trapped there and processed from there is something SOUNDCORE has to learn or whatever. Here comes more traffic, but you know.
It is what it is, right there. Testing. 1, 2, 3. How y'all doing? Thank you for joining me today, by the way. Appreciate your patience. Let's head back to the studio.
Okay, the negatives. Most people I lent this to felt a pinch like literally minutes after putting these on. Some complained of pain, while some didn't have pain but noted sustained pressure between the helix and anti-helix. Interestingly though, none of them saw the need to use the included pads, which should tell you how tight these are to begin with. Hands down, the biggest crime on these earbuds are the controls, guys. I wonder whose bright idea it was to place the touch control surface in such a way that when you're wearing the C30 at the midway to lower quadrant of your ear, two things happen. The controls are completely blocked off unless I roll my earlobe forward like this. And secondly, because of their super close proximity to the back of my ear, like right against my neck, the controls activate anytime I turn or sneeze, or if my hoodie or shirt collar bumps into it. One example of this button placement issue is I took these out gardening one day. I was digging a trench, and every time I did a downward motion with the shovel or the pickaxe, I was wondering why music was going on and off, and I thought must be my phone Bluetooth issues or something because I had just done a firmware update. But then when it was quieter out, I heard boop, 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 and then I realized that it was the earbuds controls activating each time I was like digging and hitting my hoodie. And it would either stop the music or launch Google Assistant or something like that. At one point, it even like did a reset of some kind. I don't know what it was. But altogether, I was outside for an hour, but listened to music maybe for 3 minutes in total because it paused and stopped so much. For $80, and that's like a million times less than what Huawei and Bose are charging right now, but still at the same time more expensive than the cheap brands saturating Amazon if you start looking right now. So anyways, for $80, I can look past the subpar build quality of the earbuds, the par for course sound for the privilege of wearing clip-on earbuds. However, what I cannot look past is the horrendous control layout. And I'm sure there's going to be a smaller subset of folks who will be completely fine using them, but I'm sure that most of you will agree with me on this one. And one last thing, I've always wondered when we'll get smaller sizes and designs for smartwatches and headphones for, you know, the ladies. So it's awesome to see products like the C30 represent. Except the more time I've spent with this thing, the more it reminds me of a miniaturized, well, let's just say it's something you'll find in your parents' nightstand. Just look at it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it's right there. But anyways, I have a C30 for you guys. It's the black transparent version. One of you can win this. The rules are down in the description below. Thanks to SOUNDCORE for sending me an extra copy so I can just share this with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, by the way. Thanks for your patience for sitting through this whole thing. You could have been doing something else, but the fact that you're here is really, like, it means a lot to me, guys. And remember to like this video, subscribe, reshare this channel with your friends. Let's help this grow. And remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what? The world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you very much. Peace out.